Today, we're diving into a powerful story about family, ambition, and a pretty gut-wrenching betrayal. It all revolves around a mechanic and a really simple belief that he lived his life by, a belief that gets pushed to its absolute limit.
This right here, this was the whole philosophy of Rashid, a super honest mechanic everyone in his town called chacho, which just means uncle. The quote, it translates to, "Son, hard work never goes to waste." This was literally the foundation of his entire life, and it's the main lesson he tried to pass on to the nephew he was raising like his own son.
So, let's set this scene. Our story really kicks off in this small, humble auto workshop. It's not just a business, it's the center of this family's world. It's their legacy.
Okay, so Rashid, our chacho, had been raising his nephew, Samir, ever since Samir's dad passed away. And this workshop, it wasn't just about income. It was a legacy, a living memory of Samir's father. So their bond was super strong, built on years of working side by side. But here's where the trouble starts. A conflict was brewing inside Samir. He was clever, he was ambitious, and he started to really resent the way the wealthy people in town looked down on his uncle. Like he was just a simple mechanic. And this feeling of being undervalued, well, it put him on a path to a pretty big choice.
The whole story takes a sharp turn when an outsider shows up with a proposition. And, as you can probably guess, it seems way too good to be true, and it targets Samir's ambition perfectly.
So, this big-shot businessman, a guy named Imran Shah, rolls into town and immediately spots an opportunity. He goes straight to Samir, not Rashid, with this life-changing offer, a fancy manager's job at his company. The only catch? Samir had to get his uncle to sell him the workshop.
You can see Samir was just caught between two totally different worlds. On one side, you have Rashid's way, the path of hard work, honesty, and real relationships. And on the other, Imran's offer. It's a shortcut to money, and it's all fueled by greed. A classic battle between earned success and a quick payday.
Well, when Rashid flat out refused to sell what he saw as his brother's memory, Samir made a decision that would change everything. Completely blinded by this promise of money and status, he forged his uncle's signature on the paperwork and secretly signed away the family workshop to Imran Shah.
And of course, an act of deceit like that, it's not going to stay secret for long. This led to that inevitable, heartbreaking moment when the truth finally comes out.
When Rashid found out what happened, he didn't scream, he didn't yell. He just looked at the boy he raised and asked this incredibly simple, heartbreaking question. It translates to, "Son, why did you do this?" And Samir's response was just cold. He said he was tired of being poor. And right here, this is the central theme of the whole story. Rashid's response wasn't about the money at all. It was about something way, way more valuable. He told Samir, "Daulat se zyada mehengi cheez hoti hai, bharosa," which means there is something more expensive than wealth, trust. And that was the real price of Samir's decision.
But, the consequences of our choices, they don't always hit you right away. Time has a funny way of showing us the true cost of what we've done.
2 years go by. A lot can change in 2 years. And for both Samir and Rashid, it was a time of, dramatic reversal of fortunes. The wheel of time just kept on turning. Imran Shah, being the kind of guy he was, eventually betrayed Samir, making him the scapegoat for some company losses and leaving him completely ruined. But Rashid? He refused to give up. He started all over again in a tiny rented garage, and slowly but surely, his reputation for honesty and hard work brought all his old, loyal customers right back to him. So, after hitting rock bottom, Samir has nowhere else to go. This whole situation sets the stage for the final act, a chance for him to face his mistake and maybe, just maybe, earn back everything he threw away. A completely broken and humbled Samir finally went back to his uncle, with absolutely nothing left. He said the words he should have said 2 years ago. He confessed, "Chacho, maine galti ki," which simply means, "Uncle, I made a mistake." And Rashid just listened, in total silence, no judgment. Now, Samir's chance to actually prove he was sorry came really fast. When Imran Shah tried to use some new construction project to destroy Rashid's new garage, Samir made a choice. He went straight to the media and exposed the entire fraudulent deal. The whole thing went to court, and with Samir's testimony, the judge ruled in Rashid's favor. The original workshop was returned. Crying, Samir begged for forgiveness, and Rashid, he just embraced him and offered this piece of wisdom. He said, "Beta, galti se seekhna hi jeet hoti hai," which means, "Son, Learning from a mistake is its own victory. In that one moment, you could just feel their relationship start to heal.
And so the sign on the workshop was changed. It didn't just say Rashid Auto Garage anymore. The brand new sign read Rashid and Samir Auto Garage, and right underneath it, a new motto, Trust over money. The lesson was learned, and now it was there for the whole world to see.
And that brings our story to a close, but it does leave a big question for you. I mean, it's easy for us to judge from the outside, but if you were faced with a shortcut to everything you thought you wanted, what would you choose? The money or the relationship? It's definitely something to think about.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe my channel.